What should I make? What materials should I use? Alright, please go well. How's this? What could happen? What should I use? Adding viscose, what should I use? Using specials, what should I use? Raising material attribute. Is this all right? I'm crafting the item. Yay! It's done! What properties should I keep? It's done! Where have I seen that child before?
What's the matter, Escha? You've been mumbling to yourself for a while now.
I might be mistaken, but have we seen Flamu somewhere before we met her in the ruins?
You think so too? I was actually thinking the same thing.
I just remembered, but do you remember that lithograph we found during our investigation?
Yeah, I do. What about it?
Give me a moment. I want to go over our translation again. See the spirit-like child written here? Doesn't that sound a lot like Flamu?
I see. That's right. No wonder I thought I recognized her from somewhere. I think you're onto something. This lithograph probably belonged to her, or was referring to her.
So, if the one in the sky is Flamu, and the ones on the ground are humans...
Hey, do you think Clonay is the person in between?
Huh? I don't think that's possible. This thing was written so long ago.
This is Clonay we're talking about. I think it's entirely possible. Maybe she knows something about Flamu.
Anyway, let's go talk to Clonay.
My, oh my. You still have one of those? I thought they were all long lost.
So it was talking about Clonay and Flamu. What does this mean? How are you and her?
Flamu and I were born in the same era. What you refer to as the ruins is actually a management facility.
So, you do know about Flamu then?
Yes, but I had assumed that system had long since stopped. But like me, as long as the power source is working, it will never cease functioning.
What were the two of you doing there? Please, tell me in detail.
The ruins were designed to turn a deserted wasteland back into a lush environment. Flamu and I, and lots of our peers, were conducting research in order to save the world.
To make the plants grow. The people from that era created something so massive to do that?
But Flamu thought that as long as humans exist, the results she desired could never be enacted.
What does that mean? I thought you were working on this research together.
Yes, but in our plans, she determined that human beings were too much of a variable to handle. As a result, she decided to move her facility to a place where humans could never reach her. But There was no evidence that the facility was operational for the past few centuries.
And then she woke up when we arrived?
Was she alone for that entire time? That's so...
The facility was in the sky for centuries. Surely her peers from that time are long gone. Maybe it would have been better for her to remain asleep up there.
Oh, Clone, could you tell us a little more?
Let's leave her alone for now, Logy. I've never seen her so sad.
I guess you're right. Still, I can't believe she knew so much. And she's been here this entire time.
I'm as surprised as you are. Clone never talks about herself, so... I mean, I've been with her since I was very little, but I really don't know anything about her.
Honestly, I'd always thought that what happened long ago never really mattered to us now. Investigating the ruins was my job. I was more interested in the lost or forgotten technology. But now I want to know the truth. Flamu brought her facility down, but what does she plan to do?
You're right. Clone wouldn't tell us anything about that. I'm more curious about Clone and Flamu themselves. They're supposed to be friends, but they haven't seen each other for hundreds of years. That's awful.
You have a point. There must be something we can do for them. At any rate, we must take action.
Yes, I know there's something we can do for them.
Logy, I've brought the documents you asked for. Are these all correct?
Yeah, this looks good. Sorry for the sudden request, Miche.
No, not at all. This does me a little good anyway, so hopefully it'll prove useful in your research. Well then, I have some work to do, so if you'll excuse me.
You were the right person to ask for the job, Miche. Thanks again.
So I go find Miche, and look where it takes me. You seem to be doing something pretty interesting there.
I'm trying to conduct a serious inquiry.
Now. Hey, what's that you got there? Looks pretty difficult.
These documents describe other ruin sites similar to the one we went into. Some of these papers are pretty valuable, so I couldn't get my hands on all of them.
Wow. I'm impressed you were able to collect this much.
Well, remember back when Central City was going to send in their own investigation team? I guess a friend of Miche had sent him a bunch of documents. I'm just borrowing them from him.
I get you. Still, now that those floating ruins ain't floating anymore, what's left to research?
My primary goal was to build a dreadnought. To be honest, I wasn't much interested in the ruins.
So airships mean more to you than that floating island? There's nothing wrong with that.
But when I first found out about Flamu, it got me thinking. We know so little about those ruins. Even if they're on the ground now, we can't leave them be. Clone told us that they were made to revive the barren wasteland. But is that even possible?
That does sound like a fairy tale if you ask me. A little too good to be true.
I want to know the truth. Why was Flamu there all on her own? Maybe either the humans or the spirits did something that can't be undone? I need to be sure.
Is that so? Well, I don't know what to tell you, but you look a lot better than when we first met. Determination's a good look for you. Keep chasing that goal. I'll give you my help until the bitter end.
Thanks. Knowing you guys are watching my back is a relief, Rafer. Being part of a team isn't all that bad.
So, what are you gonna do with these documents? I'm afraid it won't be much help to you with those.
I should probably talk to Neo about them. She was looking into things too. Maybe she's found more. Huh? What's the matter, Threa? What brings you here?
Miche mentioned that you're trying to find out about the unexplored ruins, but you didn't ask me. I know this child has been doing research for some time, so I thought I might run into you here.
Sorry. I guess you saw through everything.
I've been deciphering some old literature here and there, but there are still many gaps to fill. Could you please show me those documents? They could shed some new light on things.
That was why I'm coming to you now. Since you're here, Threa, let's go through the information together.
We've sure made some headway. It seems the official name for the unexplored ruins is Geosis.
According to records from similar ruins, these were built to assist in growing plants in the vicinity. But if it was in the sky, it would never be able to do that. That's why Flamu brought the ruins down.
If only she had stayed on the ground to do her research. Perhaps distancing herself from humans was what allowed her to be able to make so much progress.
I'm not sure why, but if what Cloné says is true, then a lot of things will make sense. There's a huge field of medicinal herbs in my hometown, with lots of green in the surrounding area. Perhaps there's another such ruin near there as well.
Herbs, huh? Then maybe plants will start growing around this town's ruins too.
Maybe it has the same effect as the other ruins scattered around the world.
Even if it does have that function, I hear that it's getting harder and harder to gather crops.
It is a fairly old facility, so its effects could be wearing off.
You have a point, but the area around the growth is completely barren.
No, wait! There's no point if only the area immediately surrounding the ruins flourishes.
I'd have to say that their attempt to bring life back to the world is a failure. Normally, one would stop research and redirect their efforts once realizing it's gone off course.
Humans are an unknown variable, which is why Flamu took her own research away from us. So she worked and worked, not realizing that there was a fatal flaw in her process.
She had no one to stop her, and no one to talk to. Poor thing.
She's just like me. She thought she could do everything on her own, and doesn't notice her mistakes.
But Logy, you built a dreadnought with everyone else, didn't you? You're hardly alone.
Trial and error are a big part of research. Not admitting that is the worst mistake you can make.
True. She needs someone to tell her that she's made a mistake, and she needs to face the truth. A mistake isn't the end of the world. You can always back up and change course. We have to stop her. Cloné, I've done a lot of research on Geosis.
Logy says Flamu's research was a failure. But is that really true?
That's...
I heard Flamu's voice in this town. Right now, I can say that with certainty. I can hear her. It's nostalgic, yet somehow very sad.
I've been meaning to ask you about that, Neo. Is that really possible?
This is only conjecture, but I've heard of management interfaces that can sense each other's minds.
Huh. So, people like Flamu can feel each other? But Neo's just a normal person, right?
On a major facility like Geosis, there needs to be a pedigreed alchemist to act as an interface. That child, too, is one such alchemist. She is a Geosis interface. Most likely against their will, however.
So, Flamu is an alchemist from long ago?
She is the interface? Does that mean her entire body was absorbed into the machine itself?
Yes, but only alchemists from the bloodlines directly involved in the research have that privilege. It's possible that Neo's family was somehow involved in the development of Geosis.
I see. That's why I was able to hear her. But unlike me, that girl's been trapped in there. Hey, Cloné. Is there a way we can free Flamu from that place?
Her mental state is completely unstable. There has to be something we can do for her.
Flamu has a very strong will, and has bound herself to that device. I doubt she will leave it on her own. Besides, she has lived too long as an interface. I doubt her mind is that of a human anymore.
Then, there's no way to save her?
No. Flamu's real body must be somewhere within Geosis's framework. If we can extract it from the system, it may be possible to free her mind as well.
Then we need to do something right away. I'm sure Flamu is in a lot of pain right now.
Is there any way you can convince her to leave, Clone?
After so long in the system, I very much doubt that Flamu's mind is intact. I doubt she remembers anything of her past life. Besides, I'm afraid I'd only get in your way.
Clone, it doesn't matter. You need to go see her. Come on, let's go together.
Even if I were to go, I'm sure she's forgotten that promise we made.
We won't force you, but are you sure you're okay with her story ending this way?
No. I want to save that girl, too. But do I really have that right?
It's not something you should ask us. You need to decide for yourself and take action.
I understand. In that case, please let me accompany you.
If you're going to see Flamu, could you take me along too? Since I was able to hear her voice, I might just be able to make her hear mine. Yeah, let's all work together to save Flamu.
Excuse me, are the two of you both here? We found where the ruins fell from the sky.
Really, sir? Where are they?
It would appear the crash site is somewhere due north of town.
Wow, this really will be easier to reach than when we were in the air.
Well, you'll have to cross over several high mountains, so they are still difficult to reach. I know we have the airship, but a direct route is still dangerous. I suggest we find alternate routes.
I see. So it's gonna be a while until we can actually go there again?
Don't forget the mysterious girl you mentioned in your report. She could still be lurking about. There are too many unknowns right now. We have no idea what to expect. Your safety is more important than the investigation itself. Please, promise me you'll be careful.
I understand. We'll make extra sure we're prepared. What should I make? What materials should I use? Is this all right? All right. Let's start. It's still okay. What could happen? This might work. What should I use? Using specials? What should I use? Adding viscosity. What should I use? Using specials? What should I use? Adding air. What should I use? Adding same effect as chosen item. What should I use? Drawing out material. What should I use? Raising material. What should I use? Adding effect. Is this all right? I'm crafting the item. Yay! It's done! What properties should I keep? Is this okay? Is this okay? It's done! What should I make? What materials should I use? What materials should I use? What materials should I use? All right, let's start. Yes, looks good. What could happen? It's still okay. What should I use? Adding viscosity. What should I use? Adding air. What should I use? Adding same effect as chosen item. What should I use? Using special skill. Is this all right? I'm crafting the item. What properties should I keep? Is this okay? It's done! What materials should I use? Is this all right? All right, let's start. Yes, looks good. It's still okay. How's this? Looks good, looks good. What should I use? Adding viscosity. What should I use? Using special skill. What should I use? Adding same effect as chosen item. What should I use? Adding same effect as chosen item. What should I use? Using special. What should I use? I'll try harder. What should I use? Adding viscosity. What should I use? Drawing out material power. What should I use? Drawing out properties. What should I use? Is this all right? I'm crafting the item. Yay, it's done! What properties should I keep? Is this okay? It's done! What materials should I use? Is this all right? Let's start. How's this? It's still okay. Looks good, looks good. What should I use? Raising cost. What should I use? Using special. What should I use? Adding viscosity. What should I use? Using specials, what should I use? Adding viscose, what should I use? Drawing out material, what should I use? Adding same effect as chosen item. What should I use? Adding same effect as chosen item. What should I use? I'll try harder. What should I use? Raising material attribute. Is this all right? I'm crafting the item. Yay! What properties should I keep? Is this okay? It's done! We did under is this fair? Is this right? Is this right? How many do you? Is this very farewell? Greet and how many? Is this right? If you think, if you pay,
Good work. Good work. Good work. Good work. Good work. No.
greedy, understand. Greed. Where... Where should I go?
Hey, this looks like a good place. Let's start investigating.
Where are we going?
Let's get this done. Now's our chance. There! These are materials too, eh? Escha does pretty good work. I've seen these materials somewhere before. Interesting to find them here. There!
The monsters in this area have been cleared out. Did I do a good job?
What is our
I'll do my best not to lose to everyone else.
Very interesting document.
Right.
It would be nice to find something.
That's what I call luck.
That's oil. It's used for frying and sautéing, but I can't make any use of it. Yay! A successful collection. It always feels nice when it goes well.
There!
We have cleared out any potential interferences. Now we...
All right.
I wonder if I'll find something special. I'm so excited.
What is this? This is an alchemic relic.
Where should I go?
I love treasure.
Where?
It would be nice to find something good. Well, if it... What is that?
I'm always ready. Come on! Here we go!
Moving fast.
Well, time to go to work. Try this! Yeah!
Here I go. This is the end.
I'll be going too!
Providing cover. Guarding. Death from above. Here I go! Yeah!
Leave it to me.
Leave it to me. Try this. Yeah.
Guarding.
Here I go. This is the end.
Let's take this opportunity to end this. I'm going all out. Can't stop this now. Ah! Ha! Ha! Taste my blade!
Should I go all out here? Let's get this party started. Here, how about I go all out? Hi! You're not getting away. This party's just starting. Now for the real fun. Yeehaw! you to the stars! Man, I used too much ammo. It's tough being a badass. No sweat.
What should I...
Which... No. 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 All right. Is this... All right, I'll be waiting for your...
Greeting! What should I make? What materials should I use? Is this all right? All right, let's start. It's still okay. This might work. But I used the right and what should I use? Raising cost. What should I use? Raising cost. What should I use? Adding same effect as chosen item. What should I use? Using specials, what should I use? Adding air, what should I use? Adding viscosity, what should I use? Using specials, what should I use? Effect as chosen item. What should I use? Raising material, what should I use? Adding fuel, what should I use? Drawing out material power, what should I use? Adding effect. Is this alright? I'm crafting the item. Yay! It's done! What properties should I keep? Is this okay? It's done! What should I make? What materials should I use? Is this all right? Let's start. It's still okay. Yes, looks good. Yes, looks good. What could happen? What should I use? Adding viscosity. What should I use? Using specials. What should I use? Adding same effect as chosen item. What should I use? Adding viscosity. What should I use? Adding viscosity. What should I use? Using special skill. Is this all right? I'm crafting the item. Yay! What properties should I keep? Is this okay? It's done! What materials?